Okay, good afternoon. Committee on Labor and Technology has a 3 p.m. agenda. It's Friday, February 7th. We're in conference room 224, Hawaii State Capitol. Okay, this meeting is being streamed live on YouTube. In the unlikely event that we have to abruptly end this hearing due to technical difficulties, the committee will reconvene to discuss any outstanding business on Monday, February 10th at 3 p.m. And there will be a 2-minute testifiers limit per testifier. Okay, up first, we have Senate Bill 338 related to taxation. Okay, up first, we have dole tax.
Good afternoon, Chair. Clinton Piper, Department of Taxation. We've submitted written testimony, largely will stand on that. I would note that this bill does incorporate a number of the changes that were requested in the last session. So there's no changes being requested by dole tax at this time.
Okay, thank you very much. Up next, we have Serve PAC.
Afternoon, Chair.
Good afternoon.
Myung-Oh here on behalf of ServPAC. Senate Bill 338 temporarily reinstates a tax credit that was since 2010. We believe it's a crucial time with the advancement of replacement needs, technology, as well as closing the digital divide. It does create a 2-year window to allow for the credits and also acknowledge that the 4% is literally less than the general excise tax. So it is to that extent. So we ask for the committee support.
Okay,
Thank you.
very much. Okay, up
Oh,
next.
one more thing, Chair.
Yes.
We did take a look at Charter Communications amendments. We are okay with their amendments as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, up next, we have Tax Foundation of Hawaii, Tom Yamachika on Zoom.
Thank you, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Tom Yamachika from Tax Foundation of Hawaii. We will stand on our written comments and be available for questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Up next, we have Charter Communications on Zoom.
Not available on Zoom, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Hawaiian Telecom, Jeanine Suki. Okay, written testimony and support. Is she on Zoom?
Also not on Zoom, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Any others wishing to testify? Senate Bill 338. Seeing none, any questions, members? I have a quick question for dole tax. So for the 2-year window, what would be the potential fiscal impact?
I don't have those numbers at this time. However, I believe that this is the type of bill that we would do a fiscal impact on. So I can inquire with the office and get back to you.
Okay, so if you could provide that information and we can share that with the committee once we receive it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, let's move on to the next measure, Senate Bill 1491. Okay, relating to departmental data sharing. This would add dole tax to the list of state agencies sharing data through the state longitudinal data system allows dole tax to provide and other state agencies certain wage data. Okay, up first we have University of Hawaii.
Good afternoon, Chair and Vice Chair. Stephen Schatz on behalf of Deb Halbert, Vice President at University of Hawaii. We stand on our written testimony in support of this measure.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, up next we have dole tax.
Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair. Clinton Piper, Department of Taxation. When we initially saw the bill, there was a little bit of hesitation. However, the language in the bill specifically preserving the anonymity and aggregated nature of the data, as well as the preservation of state and federal law and the treatment of the data, dole tax believes we would be able to comply with it as written. We're not requesting any amendments.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, Stephen Schatz of P20. You can stand on your testimony if you.
Sorry, I'm going to stand on our testimony. Stephen Schatz from Hawaii P20. I also want to commend dole tax for being willing to consider this measure and appreciative of their collaboration.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, up next we have Tax Foundation of Hawaii, Tom Yamachika online.
Thank you, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Tom Yamachika from Tax Foundation. We have very short comments. We'll stand on those. Be available for questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, anyone else willing to testify on Senate Bill 1491? Seeing none, any questions? Okay, seeing none, let's move on to the next measure, Senate Bill 1156, relating to deepfakes, establishes the crime of unlawful creation or distribution of a sexually explicit deepfake. Okay, up first, we have the Attorney General.
Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, Deputy Attorney General Albert Crook for the state, from the Attorney General's Criminal Justice Division. And while the department appreciates the intent of this bill, I think the legislature actually tackled this issue back in 2021. And basically, the content is covered by HRS 711-1110.9. So,
Okay,
thank you.
okay, thank you very much. Up next, we have Yasmin Chain, Hawaii State Commission on the Status of Women.
Hi, Chair, Vice Chair Yasmin Chaney, Executive Director, Commission on the Status of Women. I stand on my comments and am available for questions.
Thank you very much. Okay, up next, we have Jacob Weincheck in support. Any others wishing to testify? Okay, seeing none, members, any questions? So I have a quick question for the Attorney General's office or department. So artificial intelligence would be covered under the, what would be, what we had done in 2021. So is AI covered under the deep fake technology in current law?
Yeah, because what HRS 711-1110.9, it basically just criminalizes the creation of an image or video of a composite fictitious person. So it doesn't really matter how it's created. So if it's created by AI or any other means, it's still covered.
And current penalty is?
It's a Class C felony, whereas the bill, I think, is only a misdemeanor.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, any other questions? Okay, seeing none, let's move on to Senate Bill 853. Okay, relating to immigration, that establishes the Immigration Services Trust Fund to support immigration-related matters within the OCS, Department of Labor and Industrial Relations. It requires the department to submit annual reports to the legislature on the accounting of the expenditures of the funds, and there's appropriation language in here as well. Okay, up first, we have testifying for Department of Labor, OCS, Ray Domingo.
Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair. We stand in support of this measure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Executive Director. Up next, we have BNF Director, Director Salaveria. Okay, with comments. Okay, we have Hawaii Friends of Civil Rights, Dr. Amy Agbayani.
Aloha, thank you for hearing this measure. The Hawaii Friends for Civil Rights supports it, and we do acknowledge and thank the legislature for passing Act 207 last year and also providing staff, new staff and new positions and funding, and we're pleased that there will be proposed resources in the executive budget. And we do look forward to working with the program. And although we support this measure, we do appreciate that there are other varieties of funding, and we look forward to working in establishing and maybe considering whether or not we should be using this vehicle and other vehicles. So we support it, but do see that there may be other vehicles.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Agbayani. Okay, up next we have from the Legal Clinic, Sandy Ma. Okay, in support, okay, Alika Valdez, Democratic Party of Hawaii. Okay, also in support, we have Kerwin Canyonero online.
Not on Zoom, Chair.
Okay, testimony in opposition, we have Noella Von Weingan online.
Also not on Zoom, Chair.
Okay, also in opposition. Okay, members of the committee as well as members of the general public, we have a number of at least 30, including late testimony, at least 40 individuals all in opposition. Okay, any others wishing to testify? Senate Bill 853. Okay, seeing none. Members, any questions? I have a quick question for the Office of Community Services. Thank you, Executive Director, for being here, and congratulations on your being at the office now. But to the point that was made earlier, last year we had passed House Bill 2787, Act 207. There was a number of positions. There was resources provided. Maybe you can provide us an update on where you folks are with those positions and how the funding is being utilized at this time.
We recently got approval from the governor to create those positions. So we're in the process of creating them, and shortly thereafter, we're going to be recruiting and filling those positions. There are 2 positions that were funded.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, any other questions, member? Okay, seeing none, let's move on to Senate Bill 436, relating to the State Fire Marshal. Okay, this provides that no person shall serve as State Fire Marshal for more than 3 terms. Okay, up first. Okay, we have DLNR.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair. My name is Michael Walker. I serve as the statewide fire protection forester for the Department of Land and Natural Resources, Division of Forestry and Wildlife, and I also represent the department on the State Fire Council. We've submitted testimony with some comments and concerns regarding the bill. In short, we think this just adds an additional complication to the situation with the State Fire Marshal, and since the Marshal is really only serving 5-year terms, we can do a evaluation of performance at the end of the last year of the Marshal's term and really reappoint based on performance, not an arbitrary term. Thank you. I'm here for questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Any others wishing to testify on Senate Bill 436? Seeing none, any questions? Okay, seeing none, let's move on to the last measure. Senate Bill 1034, relating to the food service industry. This would require employers in the food service industry to allow their workers, their employees, an unpaid rest period of 30 consecutive minutes for each 5 consecutive hours of working time. Okay, first we have Department of Labor and Industrial Relations. Hey, Director.
Great. Aloha Friday, Chair Aquino, Vice Chair Lee. I'm Jane Butai, Director of the Department of Labor and Industrial Relations. We stand on our testimony, offering comments.
Okay, thank you, Director. Okay, up next we have Hawai'i Restaurant Association. Victor Lim.
Good afternoon, Chair Aquino and Vice Chair Lee. It's my pleasure to come and spend a Thursday afternoon with you folks.
Friday afternoon. You just gave me a heart attack. I was hoping to sleep in tomorrow.
Just want to share with you that the majority of the restaurant people that I know, we are already practicing this. Just want to share a little different comment is that the most shifts in the restaurants probably is in a 6 to 8 hour range instead of 5 hours. So, I mean, if you could think about maybe change the number 5 to maybe number 7 or something like that, it probably makes a lot more sense for most people. So that will be my only comment. So other than that, we support the intent of this bill. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, up next we have John Mark Mageo. Okay, in opposition. Okay, we do have late testimony from the Hawaii Food Industry Association. Lauren Servo.
Good afternoon, Chair and Vice Chair. I'm
Hi, good
Alexis
afternoon.
Chapman for HFIA. We submitted comments, and I think one thing we failed to note in our comments was I don't believe there's a definition of food service industry in the measure or in the applicable section of the HRS. So beyond that, we stand on our comments, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, any others wishing to testify on Senate Bill 1034? Seeing none, any questions? Okay, seeing none, we're gonna recess. Okay, reconvening our 3 p.m. agenda. Okay, decision making is as follows. Excuse me. Okay, Senate Bill 338 relating to taxation. So for taxable years beginning after December 31st, 2025, temporarily reinstates the formerly Act 221 Technology Infrastructure Renovation Tax Credit and expands the definition of technology-enabled infrastructure to include data servers. Members, the recommendation is to move this as a Senate Draft 1. Okay, we're going to add language to the bill to require a report from dole tax to be sent to the legislature 20 days prior to the 2029 session to the collection of the tax credit program. Okay, and again, some technical amendments and a defective date. Any questions, colleagues? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Voting on Senate Bill 338, the recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair Aquino?
Aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Ihara excused. Senator Moriwaki?
Aye.
And Senator Favela excused. The recommendation is adopted.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, moving on to Senate Bill 1491. Okay, relating to departmental data sharing. Members, the recommendation is to move this as a Senate Draft 1. Okay, with some technical amendments and a defective date of July 1st, 2050. In addition, we will be adding DBED into the data sharing group in various sections of the bill, specifically sections 1 and 2. Okay, we just feel that because DBED does a lot of workforce development, reporting and data collection, we feel that they should be involved with this group as well. Okay. Any questions or concerns, colleagues? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Voting on Senate Bill 1491, the recommendation is to pass with amendments. Noting Senators Ihara and Favela excused, are there any reservations or noes? Seeing none, the recommendation is adopted.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to Senate Bill 1156 relating to deep fakes. Members, the recommendation is to defer. We already have we have information in statute at this time. Okay, moving on to Senate Bill 853 relating to immigration. Members, for this, we will also be deferring. We believe that through Act 207 last year, there's adequate resources to address some of the immigration issues of today, and maybe this trust fund language may be a little premature. Okay, so we're going to defer. Okay, moving on to Senate Bill 436. Okay, relating to the fire marshal, this provides that no person shall serve as fire marshal, state fire marshal for more than 3 terms. That would be 15 years. Okay, members, the recommendation is to move this as a Senate Draft 1 with some technical amendments and a defective date of July 1st, 2050. Questions or concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair.
Voting on Senate Bill 436, the recommendation is to pass with amendments, noting excused absence of Senators Ihara and Favela. Are there any reservations or noes? Seeing none, the recommendation is adopted.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to the last measure, Senate Bill 1034, relating to the food service industry. This would require employers in the food service industry to allow their employees an unpaid rest period of 30 consecutive minutes for each 5 consecutive hours of working time. Okay, members, after conferring with the author of the measure, we're gonna blank the hours, the 5 consecutive hours, to make it blank. Okay, as requested by testimony. And we're going to defect the date of the bill to July 1st, 2050. And we're also going to add a definition of food service industry into the bill, into the appropriate section of the bill. Okay, any questions or concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Voting on Senate Bill 1034, the recommendation is to pass with amendments, noting the excused absence of Senators Ihara and Favela. Are there any reservations or noes? If not, the recommendation is adopted.
Okay, this concludes our 3 p.m. agenda, but we do have a 3:15 p.m. agenda for decision-making only. Okay, thank you very much. This concludes our 3 p.m. and we'll go directly into the 3:15 DM only. Okay, Committee on Labor and Technology, we have a 3:15 decision-making only agenda. It is Friday, February 7th, we're at the State Capitol, room 224. Okay, we have only one measure for consideration for decision-making, Senate Bill 730. Members, the recommendation is to defer indefinitely. After conferring with the PSM chair, we believe that this is special legislation that needs further work in the interim. Okay. So defer, thank you.
Thank you.